Next, it's arranged by color. Who does that? I do. It's moving day. This is our last video-ish type thing right here in this space. I know, you're crying tears. I'm not sad. I'm not gonna have to look into a bathroom. I'm not gonna have this door handle right here anymore, and I'm not sad about that. We are going into a room that is an actual square. This should excite y'all. We are even gonna have natural lighting, which if you're a film person, then you know that's a good thing. I really can't tell the difference a whole lot, but I know it's a good thing. From what everybody says, that matters. I don't know. Also, my hair is a hot mess. So I've just showered and we're gonna get dirty again. I might still have paint in my hair because we actually painted yesterday. My husband says I'm a very messy painter. He's very right. There's paint on the carpet. There was paint in my hair, on my butt, my legs, my foot. It did make it to the walls though. That's good. There are 2 things my husband hates doing. Well, 3. Painting, putting on a roof, and doing floors. He's done all of those things. Painting is at the same level as putting on a roof. He hates it. And the poor man, he's painted a lot of rooms in this house. I've helped. I think I cause a lot more problems than I help. I do try. I don't let him go it alone. I chose a color that is probably not going to look a lot different than this, but it's a different color. My new wall color matches this yarn. This is my Dishy yarn. This color is called Mint. It's mint. But the wall color, this wall color, is Sprinkle. Sprinkle Mint is the color in there off of a ball of yarn. So I'm excited. You're gonna get to see this whole room, what you normally don't see. And it's a hot mess right now. It really is. It's not as bad as it has been, but it's not good by any stretch of the imagination. But most of this stuff is going in the other room. It's not gonna all fit. Most of this stuff is gonna be able to fit in there. Maybe not all of it. I'm excited to try because I will stuff as much in one place as I possibly can because that's who I am. I'm gonna try to take it all with me. We're not gonna leave anyone behind here if at all possible. Let's get started. Hi. So we're in the new room and I have some things to put away and it's a lot. It's more than you would think. And this isn't all of it. That's the hard part. It's very echoey in here. That's the hard part. This isn't all of it. There's more. But let me just show you what we're going to sort through now. It's just a fraction of the things that are coming. Here's the things. All the things. And there's more to come. Don't you worry. Don't worry. There's more. And some of these things already have stuff in them, but we're going to go through it because I don't think I want to keep it the way it's like right now. I want it to change. Okay. So we're fixing to start going through things. I am looking at one of my storage shelves and I can't find my tripod, so you're in one of the cubes. I think I have mentioned to y'all that I am anal. I have very strong perfectionist tendencies and I'm obsessive compulsive. It is so much fun to live with me. Really it is. I arrange things by height, color, type. It is irritating and I know that, but I can't help it. It is who I am. You either love me or you hate me, and usually people still like me, thankfully. Even though I'm extremely irritating at times. This is one of those times where you're gonna get to see it in full force. What I wanna do is I wanna rearrange things on my shelves. I apologize again for the echo. Right now it's just still kind of sparse. Don't you worry, I'm gonna fill this sucker up fast, probably. So this is all cotton yarn, and it's a lot of cotton yarn. Well, no, this isn't cotton. This is Debbie Bliss. So I also have Debbie Bliss yarn, which I'm gonna move. I can tell it's so soft, so I can always tell when I have that instead of cotton. I'm gonna put this with my Crochet Society yarn because this is very similar to that. I know it's over there. Yep, Debbie Bliss. That's Debbie Bliss. In there, is that all of it? Nope. I didn't realize I had so much Debbie Bliss yarn, but I do. You know what else is in here? Kit yarn. By kit, I mean I had bought some of those packs. I have a Star Wars crochet, Mandalorian crochet, My Little Pony, and the Harry Potter. These all came with their own yarns, and I hate that stuff. It's terrible yarn. That's the one thing I will always say about these little packs that you see of these characters. The yarn is awful. It is so rough and I hate it. And so it's at the bottom of this cotton yarn, which is also yarn that I don't like. Now y'all have seen this in my background. This is actually a mosaic blanket that I started several years ago. And I've never finished it because I got tired of counting rows and I was getting really mixed up in the graph and I just got frustrated and I had to stop. But this is with Red Heart Super Saver yarn. See, it looks like this. Isn't it pretty? It's really a beautiful pattern and a beautiful design. It's just I had to focus a whole lot and I was having a lot of trouble with that. Focusing was really, really hard at the time. I put this away for a little while. Maybe I should try to finish it. Now, another thing about this room is you're gonna think I have bought all this stuff recently for this. No. This is all stuff I had in my other room. Like I said, I am obsessive about organization, so I love bins and buckets and places to put all of my bins and buckets, so none of this is new. All of this is what I had in the other room. It was just crammed in there. These tables back there they were just in an area you couldn't see. I have an entire container store storage unit, like their Alpha storage that I've had for many years. That's gonna be going over here. Zach is gonna be figuring out a whole system to put all of that stuff in here because I love everything to have a place. In here is all of the yarn kit yarns that I am saving for junk projects because I hate that stuff. It's just so rough. I save this for things that I don't really expect to be special. Now we're gonna put in all this godforsaken cotton. There's a lot of that too. And a lot of it's black. Why did I do this to myself? I don't know. Constantly trying to think of ways to use this stuff. I don't know. I don't know what in the world I'm gonna do with all this darn black yarn. It was just really a stupid decision. I've made a few of those in my life. This was one. This was one of those times. Black yarn, Satan's den, right here. Let's see, that's 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I always group my yarns by type. Once I know all of my types, I do it by color. And that's because the majority of my yarns, I know the brand. So when my mom rolls them into balls for me, I already know what the brand is when I group them together. There's all the cotton done. Now just to have a look in these other bins. It's not bad. Only 12. Not bad at all, no. This first one, this is my We Crochet Brava and a few different other yarns. Like here's some Metallico. I don't want it in here. Then I went to Walmart. There was this cotton yarn. I know, I say I don't like cotton and I go off and I buy all this cotton. I'm broken. I'm just broken. But it was on sale for like super duper cheap. So I was like, I can't just let it stay there by itself. So I got it and I got another one. This is the Walmart Mainstays yarn, but it was so soft that I thought maybe, just maybe it might be okay. We'll see. So I have 2 of those. Nope, that's a lie. I have 3 of those. I'm just a walking lie. They also had the Lion Brand Wool Ease. This is their recycled yarn. I thought, okay, I'll try you, you're on sale. So I have this in here. And then this is all of my We Crochet Brava. Quite a few colors, and I haven't had my mom roll this one because I didn't want it to get mixed up with my other brands. It is still in full skeins. When I bought this, I didn't have any hair colors. And I was also wanting to make some cactuses. So this is Hair and Dirt. Why is orange always kind of like a neon? Man, it's just orange. I mean, it doesn't just like halfway orange, it like all the way oranges. This is better. There is a huge knot of stuff I'm gonna try to fix. Look what I found. If you remember my story back from Halloween time, October, there was a magical key. My key has flown into this bin. Here it is. There's my key. Who knew? I have an electric table. Why I need this, I don't know, but I wanted this real bad. I've got all my stuff back here. Most of it you should recognize. I think all of this has been on the channel at some point in time. We had to buy a few more shelving pieces for my container store units that I have in here that I'll show you because it's a little bigger. This room is really about the same square footage. It's just a square versus a rectangle, and it's got 2 less doors. This room is actually considered to be a dedicated office because there is no closet in here. So that limits my storage. I had to bring all my storage, which I was okay with. I love storage. I need to lower this. I felt like Jabba the Hutt with it way up there, and my arms were like resting on my belly or something way up high. This is better. There is nothing that lets you know that you were 35 plus 13 until you move. When you move, it doesn't matter how far you've moved. I moved from 20 feet away to this room and it nearly killed me. I don't want to ever move again. I have broken almost every nail. Not to say I really have nails, because I don't. My nails are pitiful to begin with, but what I did have, they broke. And that includes my toenails because I kept running into stuff because I'm an absolute klutz. If there is a table, I will find it and I will hit it with my foot. It doesn't matter where it's at. I will find that little spot on a table that hurts the most, just like a Lego. I will find that one singular Lego that is by itself in an ocean of carpet. I'll find it. Well, that happened while I was moving as well. So my toes were just toe up is what we would say here. They just be toe up in Texas, East Texas. That's how it's said, not tore, toe. I was toe up for a few days, just exhausted. My poor husband, it took 3 coats to paint this room. Then he had to hang my container store storage system. For the most part, it's done. I am an extremely messy painter and it frustrates him to no end, but I love to paint. I had paint in my hair, on my feet, on my butt, on my hands, in his hair, on his feet, on the carpet. By the way, a little tip for you. If by chance you enjoy painting a wall and your family doesn't like you to paint because you're a slob at painting, here's my tip for you. If it drops in a little drop on the carpet, do not try to clean it. Let that sucker dry. Then once it's dried, come back with scissors and you cut that out. Don't try to clean it. No. You try to clean up the evidence afterwards and make it look like it never happened. The other little pieces of carpet, they're going to cover that up. Nobody's going to know you just cut carpet out because you dropped paint on it. Ask me how I know about that. Just ask me. It's because I've done it a lot. I've had to hide a lot of paint spills. I'm kind of a professional. So my poor hubby, he has been through a lot. He's been hanging stuff. He's cussed a lot. He already cusses a lot, but nothing will get him cussing more than painting and hanging up stuff. But he's been a champ because I knew that was coming. I had already prepared myself. We had already bought beer and wine to help cope with what was going to be happening. We were prepared, or at least I was prepared for what was going to happen. I don't know if he's ever psychologically prepared for what my anal ways will do to a person because they are exhausting. He kept coming in and he goes, wow, you've got a lot of stuff, babe. Even I was surprised at how much stuff I had. I would just sit in here on a stool and just stare and not even know where to begin. There were many hours of me just sitting and looking at this thinking, where do I put you? And where did I get you? Why do I have this? That was asked a lot. But did I get rid of it? No, because I might need it at some point in time. There's always a might. I'm kind of like a Boy Scout. Always be prepared. I'm that. If you need to crochet, I got you. Knit, I got you. Paint, I'm your girl. You want to use a Cricut? I'm here for you. I've got the paper, I've got the vinyl, I've got the cutting mats. You want to package up a box and send it to somebody with some of your stuff? I've got you. You want to sew? I have a sewing machine. Do I know how to work it very well? No, but I've got it and I've got some things to sew with. Do I know how to do any of that? Not well, not at all well, but I have it just in case. I've got a lot of things to be prepared for other things. It's embarrassing how many things I have to be prepared for other things, but I'm also quite proud at the same time. I'm embarrassed and proud. But let me go ahead and give you a little tour of the new digs. Of course, you will recognize Gloria. And right behind her is all of my sheepy stonewash cotton yarn, all my little mini skeins. I have a whole basket full of these, and that's in here with Gloria. And in this little container, this was an IKEA purchase when I got this room ready last year. And there's more little tiny things in here. This is Lion brand. I don't ever use this stuff. This was before I knew you needed to pay attention to ounces and weight of things. When I bought this, I didn't know what I was buying. And when I got this, I was like, oh, this is tiny. And so it stayed in here because it's so tiny. I don't know what to do with all these little things. Whoop, man down. Now in this drawer, these are eyes, lots of eyes. I just bought, and it's because I've been watching Knotting Hook Crochet and Caroline for the Love of Crochet. They bought some of these new little eyes. They are these little, I don't know what they're called, but they are kind of like animated eyes. Some of them look like this, and I needed to have them because they had them and I thought they were so cute. And these would add really cute little personalities to some of the stuff I made. So I got these. And then a bunch of these are just safety eyes. I have some of my felt eyes. I have these itty bitty teeny tiny eyes. It's just a lot of them. What size are they? I don't know. But they're here if I need them, along with a whole other slew of them downstairs. These are just the upstairs eyes. Now in the second drawer, I have the little basket bottoms that I bought with my hobby points. I have a pom-pom maker. I have bobbins for if I ever decide to do tapestry crochet. And I've done it, but I haven't needed a bobbin. I have a lot of things for just in case. This is a just in case purchase. I also have my little brush to brush those godforsaken beards on gnomes. I don't enjoy that at all, but I have one to brush that stupid yarn. I don't really do that ever anymore. I have stitch markers for knitting. I accidentally bought these when I thought I was getting crochet stitch markers, not knitting stitch markers. So these were an accident. If I ever get going on my knitting, I might need these. Then these are snaps for clothes and stuff. Then I have a ginormous hook. One of my mom's friends got me this because she gave me some really big yarn that I could not use, and this was the hook it called for. But I kind of liked the hook, so I held on to it. But that yarn, This is another what if. These are glass beads to sew on, and I love to sometimes use these to add little decorations and little sparkle to things, but they're a booger to sew on because these are some tiny holes. Very, very tiny holes, but they're cute. Safety pins, you never know. Another what if. This I got in a kit of some sort. I don't remember where this came from, but it has all kinds of stuff in it. I've actually never opened this to really know what's in here. Then here's the stoppers for knitting needles. So maybe this is from a knitting kit of some sort. So I think a lot of this is knitting. I don't know where I got this from, but it's in here for knitting something sometime. And then to go with my glass beads, I got sequins, because if you sew the glass beads with the sequins, oh, that's pretty. Lots of sparkle, lots of irritating sewing though. So you need to really be devoted to what you're doing if you want to put the sequins on there. But I have a bunch just in case I want to devote my energies towards this. This will be very rare to ever see me devote my energies towards this, but what if? Now in almost all of the bins that you will see, these turquoise bins, almost all of this is yarn. I sort them by colorways. Like my reds and my pinks go together, my orange, yellows, browns go together, my khakis and whites go together, my blues have their own bin, and my purples have their own bin. So that's kind of how I sort them. Anything in those shades goes together if they match that type of yarn. Now right here, I have Wallace and Gromit. This is all my Barocco vintage yarn, which is my prized possession right here, and I love my Barocco vintage. When is the last time I've used it? I don't know, because I love it. Things I love I put to the side and Just cherish them. Do I need to use it? Yes. Can I make myself use it? No. And part of the reason is it's a hank. I hate winding hanks. There's that too. It's beautiful, but I have to wind it. I don't always want to wind it. Am I lazy? Absolutely. There is no denying that. Did I tell you I'm on medication? Remember that when you see some of these things, I am medicated. There's a reason that I'm medicated. You're going to see that. Most people don't do this. It really helps me, and maybe it would help them, and I'd be happy to try and help people with this because remember, a life goal of mine is to be a professional organizer. I would really like that a lot. And this guy, it's kind of hidden behind me. Last summer, I went through this Tunisian crochet washcloth phase. I was just making washcloths right and left. Will I ever use them? No. Will I let someone else use them? No. They are too pretty to be used. I work too hard for you to put spaghetti sauce or anything on my pieces. They are just for me to admire and to remind me, oh, Cindy, remember the summer of 2023 when you were just making washcloths just right and left? Do you remember that? This is that memory. And my washcloths look like this. Isn't that cute? And they're tiny. They're not big. If I wash these and I use them, they're going to shrink up super small. But I was just wanting to do Tunisian. There was this one. There was this one. This one. This is the pot holder that goes with that one. See, this is the front. And it's really cool because this is my Dishy cotton yarn. And it kind of color blocked itself on the back, which I just love this. Isn't that cool? Tony Lipsy, she commented on that too. If you think it's cool, so did Tony. She told me so. I have a little swelled head about that. Then I also have the hand towel that goes with the washcloth and the pot holder. Here's another washcloth. This is in Tunisian. I was just wanting to make another washcloth because I didn't seem to have enough to just sit in a box. I needed more. Back when I first started crocheting, I really wanted to learn to do corner to corner blanket, and so I did. I made several. I went corner to corner crazy. I just started using up yarn, making things that there was not enough yarn to make a blanket, but I was just gonna corner to corner that. Here's an example of me corner to corner in something. It could be for a baby. It's a little small. I needed to use up this yarn because it didn't match anything else I had. I made a blanket for no one. Now over here where you see my Shamrock Dream Team, that is all my Metallico yarn. It's gonna get to where you see the Obsessions. You're gonna really see them come out in true form. I want you to pay attention to this shelf. Do you notice anything? There's two things you need to notice. First, it is arranged by height, shortest to tallest. Next, it's arranged by color. Who does that? I do. It's rainbow. And to keep the rainbow theme, I just have this vase in a drawer. So I took all of my little tiny balls of leftover yarn and I made a rainbow yarn ball vase with Clara in it. Clara sitting in the rainbow. And if you put it with your books in rainbow order according to height, even better. Since Cassie is also wearing a rainbow scarf, we're just keeping the theme. That's a rainbow shelf, and it just sparks joy. Now right below that is more books. This is all amigurumi. Right behind here is my amigurumi binder of patterns. I have some of my hobby ribbon yarn. I just have a bunch of this and I needed a way to stand my books up because they kept falling over and that was irritating me. So I made a cute little stack of this stuff to hold my books up. Now this pretty piece right here, this is actually what I accomplished on my Sophie's Universe blanket. I love mandala type blankets. I've made quite a few of them. Sophie's Universe was the first one I tried. That sucker's hard. I got that far, and it's mostly because I got tired of trying to keep track of my yarn because you're changing color almost every single row and you really need to be organized. And I wasn't very organized with how I was doing it at that time and I gave up. That is all that is done, but it's a really pretty piece. Maybe one day I will try Sophie's Universe again. I really like the colors I chose, but I don't remember what most of those are, so I'd have to start fresh because I didn't take notes. That's probably why too. I didn't write down anything that I was doing for that. And then right here you will see Chef Rumi. These are some of the blankets that I've made that I've actually kept. Most of the ones that I've made I've given away, but I've kept these three. This is one I made my husband. It's just a granny square, the one that just grows and grows and grows. I can't remember what that's called, but it's that. And then this is the only granny square anything I've done, and it will be the only granny square anything I've done because I hate them. I don't mind making them, though I get extremely bored. I can only make that square so many times before I want to take the hook and poke my eyes out. I don't enjoy it. And then when I have to figure out a pattern to put them all in and sew it together, no. They're so pretty, but I don't want to do them again, ever. When I was doing my Tunisian washcloths last summer, I was also doing my Tunisian blanket from Tony, and this is that one, and I absolutely love it. I think it's called the Mulberry Afghan, and nobody had ever better use it. It's too pretty. Don't touch it. Okay, and then right here is my little turtle. Some of y'all have talked about him. I can't remember where I got the pattern for him. I know it was Etsy, but I don't remember anything. His name is 2 Scoops Malone. I don't know why. Almost sounds like he's a basketball player, but he's not. He's a turtle with ice cream on his back. I was really craving ice cream when I made him. That's why he's here. I was hot and I wanted something cold, so I crocheted ice cream on a turtle. This is more of my amigurumi books. And then down here, these are my just crochet books. These aren't amigurumi. I separate them again by type and tallest to smallest. I told you, I've got problems. Here's Tulip and some of my crochet hooks. I have some of my Furl Streamline. I have some of my Crochet Society hooks that I've gotten in the Advents, and then my husband got me some Clovers. The rest of my containers, like I said, are just yarn. But now let's talk about what's up there on top of the bookcase. Up here at the top, I need to introduce you to a few new people. They're not people, they're paintings of animals staring at us, because I have a thing of creatures looking at me. I like it. Why? I don't know. I just like little cute animal faces a whole lot, and when they're looking at me, and if they are wearing glasses, it's a bonus. So Steve is still with us. It is 3 cows that are looking at us. The one in the middle, that is Marilla. Marilla has gotten her name from Marilla in Anne of Green Gables. That's her. And then right beside her with the crazy hair, kind of like a Highland cow and the tongue sticking out, that is Mooly Cyrus. Kind of like Miley Cyrus from her Wrecking Ball video where she was licking the ball. That's Miley Cyrus in cow form. That's who that is. And then the black and white cow just kind of standing off by herself, just kind of shunned a little bit, maybe a little shy. That is Jolene. And it's good she's pushed to the side because she's not really well liked. Jolene is, you know, Jolene, that's her. That's her as a cow. So those are my other girls along with Steve. Most of my other characters that you have seen me show you in my videos are here, plus a few that I've never really introduced you to. I'm not going to introduce them to you now because they don't really have names, but they are back there. They are some of my Peek-a-Pow characters from, I believe most of them are from Peek-a-Pow 1. Possibly Peek-a-Pow 2. They are back there in the basket of eyes that's staring at us. They're in that basket, along with most everybody else that y'all have come to know and love. So today I'm going to try to take you around and show you various areas. Whether I do a good job of that or not, I don't know. My camera is in a different kind of setup this time, so me learning how to maneuver it and get the lighting right is hard. I get very hot trying to do all of that. I'm trying though. So we're going to go around. I'm going to show you as much as I can in the room. There are some things I'm not going to be able to show you because I don't know how to get my camera to show you those things. And it's just hard to maneuver in here, or it's just because it's me. I don't know how to do all of that, but I am trying to show you things. And if there's something that you want to see more of that I didn't show you, just ask me. I'll tell you down in the comments, and I can try to do something later on that incorporates whatever you're looking for. So this is just a little corkboard that I painted last year. I just got a hankering to make it not brown, so I painted weird little flowers on it, and then that's some of my kids' artwork also on there. Over here behind my door, that is my Rumi Mill bag. I don't know why. There was a sale and I could get my logo customized on a bag, so I did that. Over here I have some of my punch needle work, and those are just some little flowers that I found at Michael's for cheap. My TV along with Rudy and Trudy, and there is my 2 blankets that I am working on. Those are all the pieces there, along with the cast of characters from the story from back in the fall. This shelf is all of my coloring books. There might be 4 swear word coloring books in there. I'm not saying it's true, but it's very possible. This is one of my container store storage pieces. I have my paintbrushes over here with my paint palette, various kinds of scissors, markers, my gel pens. I don't know if you can tell, sorted by color, possibly rainbowish. Not completely rainbow, but ish. Up above my gel pens, those are buttons. I have some that say Rumi Mill. I also have some little leather straps with Rumi Mill on them. Basically, this is just stuff to put on stuff. Nothing super duper special. Then up there, you'll see I have my sewing machine and this little box. That's all the parts for the sewing machine. In this little bin, these are what I use for my gnome beards. Rather than brushing the yarn, I buy this fur fabric and I cut them out and I glue them on. This one is all of my felt fabric, along with these tree foam forms that I was gonna make something with at Christmas, and I didn't do that. Up above my sewing machine, that is more painting canvases and extra storage bins that I've had from previous storage units that I don't like that color anymore. So they're up there waiting for their next job, which I'm sure there will be one in the near future. What it'll be, I don't know, but they probably will be holding something later on in their lives. Here are my drawers. I have all of my ribbons. I try to keep them kind of coordinated between seasons. Then I have more here. These are more the ones that I'm not going to use as much. Then in here, this is kind of a Mod Podge. I have a bunch of these little party bags. These are just things that I bought to do different things with on the channel. Like I did a little Rudolph little light thing, so these are those guys. I have more lights for if Carl's lights go out. I bought these little ping pong balls because I wanted to make the little alien guys from Sesame Street, so I bought ping pong balls for that. Some of this is just some of my kids' little artwork and things that they've gifted me. These glass beads, which are really good for weights in some of your pieces if you're needing to weight it down. These glass beads I sometimes use for that. And I think that's pretty much all that's in there. This is my vinyl for my Cricut. Various things with that. I have dowel rods for if I make some more hanging tapestries. This drawer is basically anything that sticks goes in here. So this has my packing tape, this stuff that's good for sticking things on walls. I have my E6000, little mounting squares for like scrapbook stuff, my command strips, painting tape, regular tape, command strips, and for some reason, my daughter wants me to say rocks. So these are my daughter's rocks that I have for I don't know what. But I have them just for her. Then in here, these are tools. This has all kinds of blades. It's kind of like an X-Acto knife. These are the manuals for all the tools, just in case. I have electric scissors my mother bought me. I've never used them, but I have them. Zip ties, a squeegee, my heat gun, a mallet, sandpaper, my cutting tool for fabric. Then this is my box that my cute little, I bought a little container from Hobby, and this was the box that I couldn't get rid of. And in here, I have all my screws and stuff in this thing because it was such a pretty box and I needed it, and I did for this. Now in here, this is more like accessorizing. I have my bag of balls. I have my bag of bells. I have little flowers to adorn things. This was the hat that Carl wore at Christmas time. Then I have stuff for diamond painting because I've done quite a bit of those. Then I went through a keychain phase. So these are some of the keychains that I made. I have a strange assortment of heart stickers. I don't know why, but I have these. I also have popsicle sticks. You never know when you need a popsicle stick. I have these beads. I have cowbells. I have small bells. I have a lot of bells. These are shells and things that were left over from one of my son's birthday parties. He had a shark theme back when we threw parties and we cared. We're through that phase of life. And my very last drawer down here, these are all of my Christmas ribbons and little decoration things. So I put it at the very bottom because I'm not going to need that. Now in here, I actually haven't looked in this in a while. Let's see, this is cross stitch. This is the cross stitch it goes to. I think it had something to do with coffee, but I don't remember. Then I used to make these Christmas balls with fabric, and you use a bunch of stick pins, and these are my stick pins for that, and some more sequins that I used to use for making those. More cross stitch stuff. I think those are finished ones, but I didn't know what to do with them, so they're in that. And here's my diamond art. So I have this one. I have this one. I have this one. Here's a wiener dog, another cow, and a giraffe. I love Van Gogh. So a starry night. This is all just wrapping paper. That sunflower thing, I painted that. It's kind of pitiful, but I like it a little bit. So I actually display that one. And then right below it is something from my wedding shower that all my good friends signed, and I just like seeing their positive words around me. Over here, you will see Snoop. Snoop is there. That's my boy. Along with my unicorn yarn bowl and my hanks of yarn from my Christmas advent from Yarn Yay. Basically, this area is for packing. It'll be where I film some things. If I ever get around to posting anything on Instagram, that's where I will probably do the filming. Basically, all of the storage under here, those are just acrylic paints, cheap craft paints, canvases, my blocking boards, my scale. Basically, these are just boxes. I also have just these little painting canvases. These were actually for my daughter. She only needed 2 for her class, but I might have bought a pack of 12. So I have a bunch of these for something. We'll find a use at some point. And you'll see that monkey. That monkey actually belongs to a friend. We have yet to set up a time to meet up. Sitting beside him in that black and white box, those are my gift bags for when we go to birthday parties and stuff. And the black and white above him, that is camera equipment. And then above that is just stuff I'm not going to use anytime soon. Now over here, in that bin right there, in that little jar, that is more sewing stuff. Those are the scissors that I hide so that nobody can find them and use them on things besides fabric, along with some scraps and things that maybe I will need at some point. I don't know. I really haven't looked at it in a while to know what's in there, but I know it's sewing stuff. I think at one point somebody asked me how many whips I have. I cannot handle doing more than one thing at a time. So I rarely have more than one thing going. I have to finish something before I move on. I'm very broken. I cannot move on until something is finished. Rarely do I have more than one thing going at a time, but I do have this one whip in a bag that has been there for almost 2 years. It is this. And this is actually supposed to be a blanket for one of my friends. She was going to be making me a blanket and I was going to make her a blanket for Christmas, and we were going to mail them to each other because she lives in Virginia, and that was going to be our Christmas gift. Neither one of us were able to accomplish that. There is one designer that I absolutely love, and I think she has an Etsy shop or Ravelry. It's called Coastal Crochet. She does beautiful pieces, and I like things that are kind of big and bright and you're not doing the same thing all the time. I chose one of the most difficult things to do, and I've already made this blanket once or twice before. I can't remember, and I've given it away each time I was making my friend this blanket. And it is called the Seaside Stash Blanket. Every row is almost a different color, a different stitch. I have messed up on my count on this, so all of my sides are different lengths. And I've gotten this much done. I have a whole lot more to go, but I just kind of petered out and I haven't finished it. So this is what I need to finish. I only have this one. Other than the blankets, those blanket pieces that I'm working on. This is the only other thing that I have not accomplished that I've meant to accomplish. This I would like to finish at some point. It's not going to be this year though. Don't think it's going to be this year, because it's not. Y'all, this is going to be a long video. I think I told y'all that. Did I tell you that? Because it's going to be a long video because I have a bunch of things. Too many things. Way too many things. I'm really going to try hard to use up my things this year. I'm going to try so hard. And in this little IKEA unit, this is all my chenille yarns. And again, I have it sorted by color. So there's reds and pinks, orange, yellows and browns, greens, blues, and then purples, blacks, and gray all in the bottom. There is my workstation. Oh my gosh, y'all, that chair. It has a little foot thing down there. Can you see it? It's up right there. I can put my feet up. Now that chair was a new purchase and I love it and I'm not sorry. We're almost back to where we started. This is more yarn in this. I also have my thread in here that I use. Sometimes when I crochet flowers, I use my thread. I also have a few of my channel ideas in here, so I can't show y'all those things because those are supposed to be surprises. I hope you enjoyed seeing my new craft space. I really love it. I'm so excited for things that we're going to get to do in here. It's going to be so much fun and I really just can't wait to start using my stuff in here. And I'm going to get to edit this for the first time in my craft space. I am so excited about that. I don't quite know why, but I really am. That is more exciting to me than just about anything because I used to have to edit downstairs and everybody would find me there. But now I have a space where they can't find me because they don't like to open doors because they're lazy. So this is going to be wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time here on the Rumi Mill. Bye.